G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 24 of my Lightning Deceiver playthrough with Dave the Deceiver here. Now, this character just at the end of the last episode hit level 84, and this is a pretty big level. Firstly, I guess I'm going to bring Physique up to 50. I may as well go over all the stats here. I've got nothing in Cunning, and all remaining points at this point are going into probably Spirit. I may stop this at 50 and put the last 7 into Physique or something like that, but it's basically going to be 50-50. I've also got 2 more points here, which are going to go into Word of Renewal. The less damage from Chthonics and Eldritch specifically is about to be quite useful. Less damage from Chthonics in the immediate future, and then Eldritch because we are coming up on the Forgotten Gods expansion, so that's going to be useful. I think from memory, 11 out of 12 is the breakpoint for Word of Renewal here. Just in terms of, I'm pretty sure that's when you get 10%, and then you have to get up to like 15 or something in order to get to 11. So 11 of 12, I think, is the breakpoint now. Okay, the reason level 84 is kind of a big deal is because that's, generally speaking, the second last level for monster infrequent items. So, for example, if we look here, the Ligurian's Corruption here, this says it requires level 82. That means this is a level 70 piece of armor, and one of those affixes is dragging the level requirement up. This is replaced at, let me double check that I'm not just making this up. Yeah, replaced at level 84, and then again at level 94. By the time you get to 94, you probably want to be farming for sort of forever pieces rather than running to the Ligurian. So this is maybe worth kind of chasing an upgrade on the shoulders. The belt is a pretty big deal in terms of getting extra armor in every slot. This is level 70, so this is not horribly out of date, and it has good resistances, so I'm unlikely to find something much better. Except I kind of already did. So I'm not going to farm this one either, but level 84, you could get a better version of this. Will help with your, I guess, resilience against physical damage. I do have a new relic that I want to get because I found the blueprint for Bane, so I will be making that in this episode. But if you don't have Bane, Vendetta is honestly fine. In terms of pants, Dreeg sect leg guards definitely are something you could look at. I've got Soleil here. Dreeg, I mean, we are not a regeneration build, but we do have some regeneration. So getting the Dreeg pants, which give you regen bonuses, is not a horrible idea. I've given up on the chest from Malmouth. We'll see if I get one while I run through there, probably in this episode. So we'll see if I get one. That'd be great. Rings-wise, again, these both have upgrades at level 84. So if you want to, the Ancient Grove is just here. Pay a skeleton key, spend 20 minutes farming the weed vendor there, and maybe you'll have some shiny new rings. Amulet, I've got of the Grove on this. It's got +1 to Inquisitor. The Stormbox bonuses scale with your level. So I'm fine with this, but maybe you want something better. You could go farm another one of these. Probably wouldn't recommend farming for a specific affix if you're going to be doing that. Just get some regen and be on your way. Same with the helmet. Basically every piece of gear I have, except for the blues, obviously, and the red blue, which is not entirely blue. Apart from those, every single other item in here is replaced at level 84 if you want to go farm it. I'm probably not going to bother. I think I'm just going to push through to level 94, and then I will update all of this. But it's not a horrible time to do it. This is a more defensive choice, I guess, which I like. Does that ruin my resistances? Not really. I can chuck another King's Guard on there and be good. The other thing I want to do is Hex's Delight while I'm here. I've noticed that I have actually 41% is what I was expecting. I think I had 70 from the aura from the wards over there. I've got a decent little bit of extra vitality resistance over the maximum. And I'm not going to be fighting, well, I am going to be fighting Chthonics for a brief period. But mostly speaking, I'm not going to be fighting a huge amount of them for the rest of this character's leveling journey. So I'm going to swap these soul shards for corpse dust and get some more regeneration for basically free. What do we got here? Hexa. Did I spell it wrong? Hexas, that's 2 X's. Okay. Good thing it's only 2. Hexas Delight. 1, 2 of those. I am also going to swap the Black Talos here because I have 90% over the cap, which is way more than I need. And we're about to come into an Aether City, I guess we'll call it. I want to get the... what are they called? Aether Souls. I want to get Aether Souls. So I'm going to go ahead and make those changes. Going into Malmouth, if you can, you pretty much always want to have Aether Souls on both your amulet and your medal. If you can't do it, you can't do it. That's fine. It's not a massive bonus, but it's not nothing either. Go ahead and give me the add-on here. There we go. So yeah, I'm going to make Bane right now. If you don't have the blueprint, it's fine. When you get the blueprint, you probably do want to make it. And I happen to know that I need an amber for that because I was looking at it before I started recording. So there's Vendetta. Bingo, bango, bongo. We have Bane. So we've got still +1 to Inquisitor. The proc is a little bit better, and we've got some other stuff there on the main thing. Did pick up +1 to Word of Renewal and +1 to Inquisitor's Seal on that. So I have an extra point here. This is 12 plus 11, yeah, just 23. 23 out of 12, but 22 is the hard cap. You can't go over this number plus 10. So I've got a free, quote unquote, a free skill point there. Do I have any Aether Souls? I do not. What was the other one I wanted? Oh yeah, Corpse Dust. Hallowed Ground has the same icon. There we go, Corpse Dust. Boom and boom. So we're still 21% over. And now health regeneration. This was 700 something. It's gone up a bit. It's also, you know, a little bit more because of these two. So that's fine. And if you had a good pair of Dreeg Sect pants, absolutely use those. Dreeg Sect gives you, I think, between 20 and 30% regen, which is going to be nice to have. All right, let's find out if I have enough Aether Crystals here. For Aether Soul, which needs Wrath Stones. Yep, so I need 6 of these. And yes, I will indeed have enough. That was something like 30 of these, though, so not ideal. And I also need to put another one of those on. Massively overestimated how many of these I would need. You can also go in here and just see which blueprints you found for runes. So Arcane Insight. This is a teleport that's going to do lightning and aether damage when you land. And then Glyph of the Stormclap. This is, if you played Diablo, this is leap attack. Actually, was that PoE? I don't know. They all have the same skills with different names. But this is basically jump over there, do some damage when you land. It's going to be lightning and cold. So I could use either of these. I prefer this for a movement skill rather than and land here. So I'm going to roll with that. The other thing I was going to do, and actually I'm going to go do this right now, is I'm going to go to Barrowholm, and I'm going to go backwards, because even though I'm not going to farm a new offhand, there is a quest to get access to it, and I want to make sure I lock in the quote-unquote correct choice. So let's go ahead and do that now. We've also picked up Old Mate here, who I'm going to go ahead and blow up. So Olivioth. I've already done this quest, but I'll kill him again. Astral Mantle is a pretty good drop. That is a Lightning Shoulders. I think I prefer the +3 to Doombolt, but getting that Lightning Orb proc and then a bunch of elemental stuff, 2 good resistances. I have actually already sold, I think, 2 pairs of these now. So I'm not going to use it, but it is definitely a good option. Let's just throw a bunch of pain up there. I think they can die on their own. Same with these guys. Nemesis with the beast. Oh dear. That was not something I particularly want to see. That's fine. So we will likely have to fight Chupacabra at some point. Although most of what I'll be killing today is going to be Chthonians and then Ethereals. So I potentially won't have to fight him just yet. Ugdal's here, which means I actually already killed him. So I've already made the correct choice here. That's fine, I can kill him again. And potentially get a nice new offhand. Okay, aggressive is good. Fallen Skies is a damage proc. So we got lightning and cold. This is a higher level 94. This is a higher level offhand, so at least potentially we're getting higher level procs. Level 94 does mean this is the highest level Sky Fragment proc, so you're not going to get any more damage than that. Elemental Seal is probably preferable in my opinion, but this Sky Fragment does do a ton of lightning damage, so I will probably swap that over. I don't have the levels for it right now, but I will. So it turns out I don't actually need this Wendigo Soul that I carried all the way out here. I seem to remember skipping him, but maybe it was a different character, so that's fine. Do I want to farm any other gear upgrades? I think probably not. I think I'm just going to push on here. So let's head on over to Barrowholm. I probably should have swapped these Aether Souls after I go through the Chthonian area, so I will be taking some more damage from them than perhaps I should have. But it is what it is. It'll be fine. Ekadzul's probably the only scary thing between here and Korvac anyway. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. As long as I don't stand in stupid, should be fine. So I'm just going to call it right now. Rest in peace. Completely whiffed that Doom Bolt. I was trying to hit that guy. Alright, that's a white item. At this point in the game, no double rare is going to be as good as a monster infrequent for the skill you're using, so double rare, two-handed, ranged, white Arbalist is vendor trash, pretty much regardless. If you're playing a crossbow build, it's going to be because you are using one of the monster infrequent crossbows to enhance a skill, and that's not one of those monster infrequent skills or crossbows that's enhancing a skill. So pretty much any double rare weapon that isn't a monster infrequent is vendor trash, just by default. It is a little bit unfortunate. I do think monster infrequents are maybe a little bit too strong, but I'm also not really complaining about that. Alright, let's keep pushing through here. You do want to make sure before you go in here, if you can have the black tallow, go ahead and keep it. That was my mistake. It's not the end of the world, but yeah, it's definitely an improvement. Getting 12% or 11 points whatever percent less damage from Chthonians is a good idea. So I also need to go and get my skill point back, don't I? Let's go do that. Your resistances for this next area, you need Fire, Vitality, and Chaos. I need that one back, so now it's blue. So we're good. I was kind of hoping I could put a point in here, but as it turns out, not so much. I'm going to put one more point here in Blood of Dreeg. 5 out of 16 is a kind of like a soft cap. No, it's not a soft cap. What do you call it? It's a point where generally it's good to stop on these. So on this, I think it was 7%. If you had 5 points here, it might have been 6. And then the 6th point doesn't give you another percentage, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to leave that at 5. My next level up, 85, is going into Word of Renewal. I'm going to take this one up to 11. My old... I would have swore Vendetta gave me +1 to Inquisitor. Anyway, it's fine. Right, so yes, Vitality, Fire, you probably need everything capped, honestly, but those are the ones that'll be an issue if they're not. Let's go ahead and try to remember to keep all of the buffs active. Alright, once you're in, you're stuck in, you can't leave without going all the way through, dying, or exiting to the menu. So I'm going to head up and to the left here. I want to check for the Exalted Stash under this helmet. Helmet? That's a very big helmet. Under this skull. I was checking for that. Okay, good. I don't really like these big guys, so I'm going to kite these. They hit quite hard, so yeah, not a big fan actually of getting stabbed by them with their hands. Anyhow, this helmet, if you have a flaming red block of rock, I guess it's obsidian, so this stuff, that's your Exalted Stash. If you don't have it there, it's going to be up here on the side, or it's somewhere else, and I don't bother looking for it after I check these two spots. Okay, let's go ahead and push all of the buttons here. You get a W. Oh, there's another one. You get a W. I don't love that these guys are hitting me, but it turns out that if I'm standing in the circle of you can't hurt me, yeah, you just kind of can't hurt me, which is good. No. So imagine this, but like bigger. That's what I was looking for, and yeah, it's not here. So that's fine. Just means I miss out. I'm not going to go looking for it. Absolutely, if you want it, then grimtools.com/map will get you... you're not going to believe this. It'll get you the map, which will show you where it's going to be. Alright, everybody's dead, or near enough too. Let's get out of here. That little section there before I came through this portal, can I go back? I think I can go back. Yeah, cool. This looks really cool too, so if you're into scenic vistas, this one's probably top 2 or 3 in my books. Alright, so Void's Edge here, pretty much the same area. Okay, this is not what I wanted to see. Okay, Spiky Ore is gone, good. Those guys hit like trucks, especially when they actually have the Monster Infrequent Axe. He didn't, which is good. But if he did... Ooh, hello. Elemental Blast when hit. A bunch of skill points I don't need, but +2 to Inquisitor Seal does get me 2 additional skill points, kind of for free. Physical Resistance. This is kind of similar, actually, in terms of armor. With 3% physical res is probably not far off. Bunch of extra offensive ability as well. Let's chuck it on. Actually, I can't just yet because I need the armor absorption, but I am almost certainly going to use that. And by that, I mean I'm going to put it in that last tab, and 3 episodes from now I'll remember I have it, and I'll have found something better. But at least for the moment, the plan is to use that for sure. Okay, you get a storm box, and you know what? People running behind me can have one of those. The Inquisitor's Seal, if it triggers Korvac's Brand, will actually petrify things, which is why I did that. And there's a lot of stuff here. I might actually just stop for a moment and start deleting some of these guys. That'll do. May as well get the hidden loot, right? It's not going to be anything too fancy, but more iron bits is never a bad thing. I figure we can kill these guys as well. Get a few lightning boxes out there. There we go. This is not an Exalted Stash. You don't want to run near that. In fact, I'm going to go away. Okay, this stuff, you can fight this stuff, you can skip this stuff. I'm going to open the door here, run inside, and they're all going to bunch up here, or just never have followed me. Yep, can't actually hurt me, can you? Okay, cool. So this is Eket Zul's house. Once you go through that door, you're in his house. He lives right here. And basically what I'm looking to do is not die, so I don't want to stand in his volcano. So he's going to thrust his right arm, I think it is, towards me, and then there'll be a volcano under my feet. I don't want to be there once he does that, so once that animation starts, I'm going to try and move. And he's also going to lean forward and flap his wings at me, which is the Sunder animation, and I want to dodge that as well. So let's get him down here. And Sunder, there's the Sunder, which I definitely want to avoid. Okay, it was both arms, but you can see the volcano there that I want to avoid. And dead. There he goes. Cool. So not too difficult, but if you stand in the volcano, it's going to hit you with like 5, 6, maybe 7 projectiles each single or every second or so. It's a lot of damage very quickly if you're standing in the middle of it. Cloth of Unspeakable Invocation. I was thinking that this was actually a belt. Turns out no. +2 to possession is pretty good, or it would be if I was using it. This one has damage absorption on it, so you could definitely make the argument for dropping Aura of Censure and taking possession, but I do think it's not the right answer. This stuff here, you can fight it or not. I'm going to throw Word of Pain at it and then just walk away. And here we have our good friend Olgrim, who was dragged into hell and then basically killed the Logorian in his own house. So I don't want to mess with him. I'm going to tell him to snap out of it. He's in trouble. He's in the void. Don't click on this one. Unless you want to fight him, in which case, do click on it. I'm gonna not fight him. I'm pretty sure I could beat him, but I'm just not gonna risk it. In hardcore, level 84, you've made it all this way. Do you really want to risk that just to say you beat him? There is an achievement for it though, so if you haven't got the achievement, maybe. Alright, we can just skip this stuff and get on out of here. Alright, so welcome to, I guess, Lone Watch. He's so happy about that. Don't forget to talk to him, and then throw the blueprint that you already have on the floor. The number of times I've come through here, completely not noticed him, and just blown right past him, got to the city, and then gone, hang on a second, where's my quest? It's at least once, and I don't know how many times, but it's definitely more than once, actually. It's more than once. Alright, so we'll throw a Word of Pain on these guys, maybe a Stormbox or 2, and just keep moving. I'm probably missing out on the occasional Chthonian Seal of Binding. And, well, Bloodsworn Codexes, who cares? I'm not playing pets. Not yet, anyway. Haven't done pets for a while. I think the next character has to be a Bomberman Demolitionist of one variety or another. Alright, so out to Morndale. I do enjoy a good 8th crystal, so I'm going to hit up these crystals as I find them. Also, once again, the white-named... I was about to say the white-named guys don't have Obsidian War Cleavers, but as it turns out, they do. This one has 470% physical damage, and then 10% chance of just absolutely destroying your entire day. Yeah, see, things like this is what I don't want to get hit with. So, attack speed as well as all that extra damage. That sort of thing is why I don't like those enemies, because they can just out of nowhere have a really good weapon like that and just completely ruin your day. Tempting. No. Right, let's go ahead and do this totem. Turn the loot off. Also helps if you remember the main skill of your build is Doombolt, not Word of Pain or Stormbox. Okay, what do we got? Dager's Hood, Boulder's Mantle, Massacre, and we have the Seal of the Night. Okay, no lightning bonuses here. Chill Spikes is also not lightning. So that is the Cold Seal. We're looking for Seal of Skies for the lightning version. Definitely will replace the Amber with a Seal of Skies, but I think Hellsbane ammo is actually better. It's 100% lightning damage. So I think this is better. That flat damage we can't use. The Seal of Skies as well. You only need one of them to get access to the skill it has. Because it does give you a chain lightning type skill. So I'll probably just get one of them. But I do want it. It is a damage increase. Right, let's keep pushing up here, and here is the red thing, which means my gun lake is over here. Again, if you're having trouble finding this spot, just look for the gun lake. You can kind of see it here, you know, here's the handle, there's the hammer. Or it's a tap, twist here, tap, water comes out here. This points to the red circle, basically. So I need to go find another red circle. I'm definitely beginning to think that I should have been using Word of Pain Monster and Frequency. I've gone too far over that way. And also too far north, so you want to head pretty much directly up, so it's actually probably over here, now that I'm looking at it again. This is actually the first time I've not found the thing that I'm looking for. Another obsidian war cleaver over there. It's not here anyway, so it's actually way over to the, what's that, east. Can't walk through walls, which is annoying. Should be able to. Am I the Taken, or am I not the Taken? Alright, so I want pretty much level with the gun. The pew-pew side points to the third one. The final place that I'm going to check. So we'll come down here. Here he is. Let's jump in. So once again, when you're in here, you either win or die, or escape to menu. And there's one thing in here that I'm actually semi-afraid of fighting. And wouldn't you know it, here he comes. Let's just back up a little bit. Don't really want to be standing in the fire. Okay, down he goes. Good, good, good. Rylock mark. Not really for this character. So there's nothing else in here that I'm actually worried about. There's my treasure trove. Blood of Chthon and an Uchtembloom. Pretty happy with that. These boots are also kind of good. I think the worm scale foot guards are better. So yeah, that was basically the only thing in here that I'm particularly worried about. So now that he's dead, I can pretty much walk through here like I own the place and not be too far off. I am here for old mate just over the screen here. Here he is, Bandragos, that's his name. I remember names. There's level 85, which you love to see. These guys are going to be healing themselves. I'm going to try and chuck a Stormbox on each of them. There we go. They are healing. Turns out it doesn't matter. They're standing way too close to each other, and down they go. Alright, too easy. Well, I say easy like that didn't take way too long. And I do have... So there we go at 11. The 12th point doesn't give me any more less damage from Chthonics, so I'm going to leave that at 11. And then we're going to bump up Blood of Drig here. This is going to give me a bigger heal. It's going to give me offensive ability and some regeneration. So a little bit of extra regen here. Can't complain about that. More spirit. Never not take more damage. And now I'm just looking for the exit. So I think there's one potential exit down here. generally speaking, if you want the exit to this place, just kind of, yeah, there it is. Just run around the edge of the map and you'll find it. Okay, Obsidian Grasp, not really for this build, but it's not horrible. I'm just looking for the exit. There it is. This is going to spit me out at one of the 3 red portals on the outside. Randomly, I believe. Yep, there we go. So we found some friends along the way. Down they all go. I would have preferred to be over here, actually. Just because now I'm going to have to run over there to talk to Dela. Or to drop a rift at Dela's feet and then come back later. So here we go, just up the bridge, over the bridge. Drop myself a lovely little rift and just ignore her. Same with these ethereal obelisks or whatever that is. It? Yeah, ethereal obelisks. Pretty much just ignore them. Don't bother fighting them. They have way too much health. They don't drop anything worth talking about. So just ignore them. Just keep walking. It's fine. Aether Cluster, okay. I've got 3 of those left. I keep using them by accident because they're right next to the Curse of Frailty. Which is, you know, fine. You know what? Let's just chill out here. We can fight all this stuff as they come running through the gate. I was expecting more, but that's okay. This is fine. There we go, some nice XP. And now that I'm out, let's just go ahead and make that change that I was talking about. Get an extra damage proc there. It is, I believe, when I get hit. Keep the add-on, yes, I'm sure. Yeah, so when I'm hit, this is happening constantly. There's going to be a blast of elemental energy. So this is probably going to be a short-range Nova type attack. But it's going to knock things down. It's going to do a bunch of lightning damage, a little bit of fire and cold. And it has main hand damage, so we will be stealing a little bit of life with it as well, because I have life steal on the Unholy Inscription there. Probably there's some more life steal somewhere. So that's definitely good. And I'm just going to go ahead and vendor all this stuff. This is all stuff you can have a look at, maybe keep some of it if you want to play other characters. Personally, I'm not super interested in keeping gear for other characters, so I'm just going to sell all of it. And clever me has been running around with no augments on half of my gear. I bought that, so I was like, okay, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Didn't want to use it anyway. Okay, Travis is offering a nice little quest item there. I'm definitely not going to use that. Sunspot being another Doombolt type skill, yeah, could be okay. It is mostly lightning as well, so I definitely could maybe change 9 here over to be... I don't actually know what I would change it to be, but I could have another one. I think I'm just going to keep the Enslaved Wraith, though. The lightning resistance shred on Stormbox is probably worth more. Probably. Do I want to make that change? So, armor-wise, it's a slight decrease. Do get some attacks damage converted to health, which not really relevant. There's a bunch of resistances, though. That's going to be... You know what? That's a trap. This pair of pants is a trap. You will never be able to take those off because you just won't have enough resistances to do it. So that can all go. That I'm going to use. These ones, I don't have the physique to use them. I think we'll just sell those. And then we've got some level 94 stuff. Those I'm never going to use. Those I should keep. I think the rest of that stuff I'll hang on to for the moment. Alright, let's get back to it. We've got some sewer diving to get in through today. Would also maybe, probably not going to get the entire expansion finished today, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, so I'm coming in the back door, which giggity, but this is the quickest way to do it. Potentially going to have Turnox in the next little room here, so I don't really want all of his friends from next door to come play at the same time. So I will take care of these guys. Yeah, they're mostly dead, that's fine. Turnox is not home, but he does have a couple of really big friends here. Really beefy. It's alright though, I'm standing in my circle of you can't hurt me, so yeah, they can't hurt me. The great thing about this room, and I really do like this room, free dynamite. This chest can occasionally be a little bit fancier than just this little metal one. And then there's often scrap piles, there's barrels, there's all sorts of stuff, and all of it can have dynamite in it. Looks like I just get the guaranteed one. I have had 7 dynamite in that one room before. Only happened one time, and I'll be talking about it forever. Probably so rare that it may as well never have happened, but I'm just going to keep talking about it, because it did happen. Right, so Turnox, I can see his foot there. Could have been here between these 2 pillars as well, so that's why I came here first. But Turnox is here. And shouldn't really have any issues killing Turnox. I'm not worried about him at all. There he goes. Did get sundered. Oh, and he dropped me Krieg's boots as well. How nice. Those are pink, or bright purple perhaps. A pinky purple. These are monster infrequent legendary items, so this drops only from him. Krieg's set is, I believe, the only 5-piece set that isn't specific to a single mastery. So this one has Soldier, Arcanist, and Necromancer bonuses. I'm pretty sure all of the other 5-piece level 94 sets are, all of them, tied to a single mastery. I'm very unlikely to actually keep that. In fact, I'm not going to keep it. I'll just blow it up. Or, more likely, vendor it. So, Krieg's set, really good because you can target farm it. Really mid because it's just not that strong anymore. It's kind of been power crept. Still decent though, you can use it for endgame builds. Alright, so we've got some mages here. I've got all of the quest items I needed. Grabbed the other one off the... where is it? This one. Grabbed that off of the dais while I was waffling about Krieg's set. These things have way too much health. There we go. So I've got all of the quest items I need, and we are going to kill off all these mages. And we're going to fight for a Riftgate. Ascendant Pauldrons, Cold to Lightning, okay. Don't really care so much about Cold to Lightning. And you can die. Alright, cool. Done. Having said that, Cold to Lightning is not horrible, so if you find a good pair of these, you could definitely use them. You've got lightning damage bonuses. Vigorous means that the health bonus is there. At least one of them is just coming from that prefix, but the rest of that's not horrible. Okay. Hold that thought. I'll be right back. Damn it. Okay, it's fine. We'll do the run of shame. I can go this way, and then it's not quite so shameful. I'm doing this for the Aether Crystals, because you know you can never have enough of them, and I don't want to run out. It's all about the Aether Crystals. That's a reflector. Either he didn't reflect, or he died and didn't reflect, or the circle of you can't hurt me is way stronger than it should be. Yeah, I totally did that on purpose, just so as I could get some more Aether Crystals. That was all part of the plan. Not at all a mistake. Definitely not the longest run I've had to do because I've cleared a rift. Still, you know. This happens way too often. Okay, that's fine. We found Dela.
I hope you're ready to write the next chapter of my story. Unfortunately, this one's still a work in progress.
Okay, well, that is quite unfortunate. What's also unfortunate is I clicked on the floor. You do get a guaranteed purple out of this, which is good. I don't actually have any more questions for you. So, guaranteed purple. You get Blaze Heart from her for completing this quest. You do want to keep these because you only get one of these per character. This is not something you can farm for. This is from this quest, and it's the only place you can get it. So you get one per character. If you ever want to make a character that actually uses this item, it's probably a good idea to have, you know, at least a handful of them that you can pick from. I don't remember the conversion percentages on them, but I'm thinking those numbers are probably low. I could be completely wrong. Converting all vitality and chaos damage to fire is actually pretty good, or at least pretty tempting. Necromancer and Oathkeeper +1 to skills. I'm surprised this doesn't have Demolitionist. But as it turns out, it doesn't, so that's fine. Yeah, definitely worth hanging on to those if you're into that sort of thing. Okay. Let's push forward. So we talked to Olgrim here. What do we do now? I'm on it. We can come in here. Turns out I already killed them, but there's mages that live in here. We can definitely kill them. There's another pack right here. Usually not going to find yourself a hero here, but, you know, I'll take it. Ascendant Source. So I'm still looking for the Ascendant robes, chest guard. Not sure exactly what they are. But I would still like to get those just to have them. But I'm kind of okay with the blue ones I have at the moment. Haunted Vestment, is that the one I was looking for? I don't think it is. Let's have a look. It's definitely not. Fire to Aether. A bunch of other stuff. I'm pretty sure it's Ascended or Ascendant. Something like that. Alright, got some Ghost Crabs, which, I mean, they can drop the +1 to Inquisitor Belt, so potentially they could have something nice. There's also some loot here if you go off the map. Got hidden spoils and a dead body. Poison gloves, okay, okay. I mean, getting a blue is better than getting a random green, right? At least the blue is potentially useful. Potentially usable. Alright, so sewers. I mean, I don't really love the sewers. So just push through here. It's fairly bland, honestly, running through the sewers. There's not a whole lot going on. I don't need to fight Galacros for this character, so even the optional side area with the fancy boss is probably not something I'm even going to open up. So we'll just keep pushing. Keep throwing Word of Pain on things. Getting all the lightning sort of flying out of my back as I walk past things is always fun. Alright, so next up is going to be the Malmouth Resistance headquarters in the sewers here. Pretty much there, if I could get my movement skill to get me through there, or my evade. And also it would probably help if I was going the correct way. That's usually a good idea. See, stopped for a fight, Prismatic Barrier's up, 35% there. Love to see it. 35% physical resist is pretty dang good. Alright, so we have made it to the sewerage, or to the sewers. Let's go ahead and eat our conversation pie here. And we have agreed to lower the bridge. We have agreed to destroy the wagons. And that's going to be it for today's episode. So we made it to the sewers. So maybe consider farming your monster infrequence again at 84. I'm probably not going to, but you definitely could. Usually between sort of 70 to 80 is when a lot of armor-related deaths happen. So if you're having one slot, looking at you, Helmet, which has significantly less armor than any others, maybe consider farming that. Probably I'm not going to. But yeah, that's going to be the end of today's episode. So I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.